Hi.
Hello, how are we?
I'm good. I'm like drowning every day, I feel like at this point. But I'm good. There's just so much going on between work and obviously the wedding. So I'm just
Wedding prep.
trying to stay above water at this point.
How's it all going with the wedding?
Wedding is okay. I feel like it's now just like final details. We're just getting like bombarded with all our vendors at this point. So just like figuring out like all logistics and also just even silly things like the types of tables you want set up in your room. Like it's just like stuff that like and it's important decisions that like where people are going to sit obviously because like there's
Yeah.
so much politics with that and families and stuff like that, so like that's a whole thing. But my manager is also leaving our company and we're going through like a whole merger, so I'm trying to manage
Oh
that project
wow.
because
Yeah,
um
that's tough.
yeah.
How many people you got there again? 150 odd at the wedding.
No, wedding is going to be 290.
Oh my god! Wow. All right. Wow. Okay, that's a lot.
It was
No
going to
wonder
be
you
under
were stressed. That's
50.
that's
It's
like the
massive
biggest. That should be like the biggest. That's a record. I don't think I've ever been to anything more than that. I don't think I've been anything close.
for the amount of guests at a wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying you haven't been.
Yeah.
I literally, so our pre-wedding event, our events start on the 4th, which is Wednesday, and that's at my parents' home, and
Yeah.
that's going to be around 100 people, and it's just family and like close, like our bridal party, basically like
I
groomsmen, and that's it.
mentally shut down. I wouldn't be able to handle
I feel like so I think and I are both very social, so like we sort of have that in our favor, but I'm so excited for the day after our wedding when we just have our honey like we're trapped. So it was like we need to leave immediately because I only get 2 weeks of holidays. So like I want to take advantage of the amount of time I have, and
Yeah.
I am just like so looking forward to that next day when we're just done with all of our weddings. So I don't know how people that like are maybe a little bit even more introverted like do it
People
because
make
I
it,
like
but people make it like I know someone that did like over 2 days. Like, I know you're doing a huge one, but I couldn't think of anything worse. Just get it done. I just
get it.
want it.
Ours is 3 days, and it's just
Oh my
like
god,
I
you're
just dropped
making your
off,
own life stressful. You're making it even worse.
and I just dropped off so many clothes to alterations yesterday as well because I
Yeah,
like needed a ton of stuff to get altered, and like I was waiting until mid to late July because I didn't want to have to keep going in the chance I like lost any more weight. Between like when I got them to now, so I was like I'll just wait until July, but now I'm like, oh my god, I just
yeah. I
just a
think I
lot.
think you're
There's just
pretty.
a lot of random things on your to-do list. I think that just keep popping up and you're forgetting. Like we have to do a cake
Yeah,
tasting. It's like none of this is really like it's not bad stuff. We went to a cake tasting. Obviously, that's so much fun, and we had like small bites of cake here and there. But it's just like another thing to add to your list of to-dos. You know what I mean?
yeah. No,
Like
I get it, yeah. I
it's
think it's I think the bulk of your weight loss is done, so that should put the stress on. But you could still, you never know, you could still lose more. But I think the bulk.
I I can. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how strong my commitment to like I I work out at this point because it's a stress reliever for me, and like it's
Yeah,
nice to just like have my own time and like get that hour in where I'm not like on my phone responding to someone, or like I'm a horrible texter in general. But like now that I like have I have no like I have to respond to vendors and stuff, like it's just nice to get away. So for me, like I it's almost like therapeutic, but I feel like between now and like honestly just the month of August, it's going to be crazy between like running around to our venues and like we have to go to California, that I just don't think I can like actively keep track of
so now it's
everything.
maintenance.
So
Yeah,
I'm seeing like I have a feeling if I were to lose more weight, if anything, it would be from stress than
yeah,
like
okay, yeah,
from
that's fair.
like anything else.
Yeah, that's fair. So now it's just maintenance then. Now it's just
Yeah,
lifting.
it's
I
just
mean,
maintenance. Yeah. I mean, I would
so
obviously be happy with any weight loss if it's when done
obviously,
the right way, when done the right way, but like I just I know myself, like just seeing how the last couple weeks are, like I feel
yeah.
like it's the one thing that's going to have to take a back seat, and then like the days that I
But
don't have anything, the protein part, I think I'm sort of like in a good routine with. But what's hard right now for me is like I'm going back and forth so much between my parents' house and my apartment because
Yeah,
there's
I
just
know. Yeah.
so much to do here. So like we have Greek yogurt and like cottage cheese. So I've now like gotten my protein sources on both ends, but it's just not as consistent as I would like it to be.
But
But
this is what I was going to say though. But you have got all the. Listen, we've done 4 months now. You've done really
yeah,
well. You have got everything in place. You
yeah,
know, as much as like it might not be ideal situation now because it's so stressful, you have got subconsciously now you are in a right. I know I need to get my protein in. Whereas before it was just like consume whatever you want,
right,
like consume whatever, and you've got right. I've got to get my steps in. I'm getting the gym in.
yeah.
It's all built in.
It's
Yes,
like a
it's going to be really
routine. It's just
stressful.
habitual. Yeah, at this
Yeah,
point.
exactly. Well, listen, it might not be as ideal as you want it, with a month
Right,
to go, but
right.
you've already done the bulk of what you wanted to do. So when we
Yeah.
first started, can you just talk about when we first started? What was your goal,
Yes.
and where were you at then compared to?
Yes. So I when we first started, I think was around March and we had chatted. At that point I had lost around maybe 8 to 10 pounds or so just on my own, but I
Yeah,
definitely wasn't like the ideal route for losing weight because I feel like I wasn't eating anything. And
yeah.
I was just going crazy at the gym because that's all I knew. So I think I sort of flatlined in terms of any more weight loss, and I wanted to lose 10 more pounds just to get back to where I was like last year and also just feel good and like feel confident, obviously leading up to our wedding. Um,
So can we just say
so
there? So we just say that you wanted to. The goal was. I remember you said I'd love to lose 10 more pounds. I was like, yes, of course we can
you
do
were
that.
like, okay, this is like, I'm not
We've got
concerned about
we've got
you.
4 months. We've got 4 months. Like I was
I know
like,
you're
don't
like,
worry.
you're okay. Though, I mean, even with that, I feel like it was like training my body to uh get used to getting as much protein in as I do now, which at this point, like doing a protein rich meal is so second nature because if I don't have a meal that has too much protein in it, I find that I'm more hungry, right? Like in an hour or two. So
Definitely,
like clearly
definitely.
like my body's just now acclimated to having more protein, but starting off I feel like it was a bit of adjustment because I was struggling to even hit 100 grams of protein. Like even I couldn't eat that much food in a
It
day.
wasn't even it wasn't even the 100 grams of protein. You're struggling to even eat 1,000 calories. So we
Yeah.
were. What we should say is you were very different in the fact of
Yeah.
you were massively under eating. So I see
Yeah.
this all the time with
Yeah.
clients that come to me that they're like, well, I barely eat anything. Most of the time they're lying because they are
Yeah.
eating. But
Sure.
you were actually not eating enough. And also you're vegetarian as well. So you were
Already. Yeah.
already not like at a kind of a disadvantage for protein
Sure.
already.
Yeah.
So and then you're eating. I remember the first time I was tracking, I was like, "Have you missed anything?" And you were like, "No, no, that's everything I've eaten in a day." And it was like 900 calories. So our goal was what most people struggle with: lose
Yeah.
body fat and eat more food.
Yeah.
So I remember we first started. I was like, right, all I want you to do is start by eating 1,200
Just
calories,
eat
and
more food.
just eat more, just eat more. And then it was, right, well, you try to get to 1,400 calories, and you're like, I don't think I can do that. And I was like, you can do it.
Yeah, like
It's
you are capable of eating that much. It's not actually
yeah,
that much food, which I
especially,
realize now. Like it's not actually like,
obviously.
but in that moment, I remember. Oh my god, the first week I was like, first couple weeks I was like, I can't. How do people eat like this? Like I just can't eat all this food. And it wasn't even like I was eating. I mean, I was obviously watching what I was eating, so it was all healthy meals. So
Yeah.
I don't know what my body was just used to not
There's different,
eating.
but it's like we spoke about quite a few times. That you'd have meals, and I don't know how you do it because I can't do this. But you'd have meals where it'd be the whole meal be 250 calories. I'd be like, we need to eat more food. You can't just eat vegetables and
Because I
and
think
then
that's what it was mainly vegetables and then maybe like and to me my source of protein I was like a falafel which I love and I was like oh it's chickpeas it'll have protein and I realize now it's not a super
yeah,
strong protein source but that I was like that's where I was mainly probably getting my calories because everything else is just like a
yeah,
salad which is just water weight it's not really you're not getting anything really from it besides
yeah.
maybe some vitamins you know so
So, as a vegetarian, then, and as someone that had to eat more food to lose weight, how
yes
did you? So can we just starting? How much weight have we lost altogether in the last 4 months? We were I know you were 117, but let's say 118 pounds in the last weigh in. How much was it altogether?
Um, so I think I started off at 128, so I think I'm at that 10-pound threshold.
Lovely.
I believe
I
I
thought we
started
were.
at one.
I thought we were one. I thought we were 130 to start. I think we were 130 to
Oh, maybe
start.
we were at 130 to start.
I
So
think we were
actually, I think I
130.
am below. You're
Yeah,
right.
I
I
think
feel like
we were 130. I know that you lost the 10 pounds earlier than that, so I know because I know when you
you're
started
right.
doing it 140, we were 130 to start, and
Yeah,
then it
you're right.
was
No, I'm looking back and you're right. We did start I did start off at 130. So I'm actually 12 pounds past now because I did check myself. Though I think Sarthik told you about like the scale, the weirdness between the scales that we
palaver.
have, which
Yeah,
I think the scale that I've been using and the one that I've like been updating you with, because I know that's the one that like I actively use is accurate, and the one that is at our apartment, I just am like, I don't think this is reliable because there's
well,
something
he
off.
was he just on there because obviously you did with your fiance.
Yes.
He was like constantly like texting me like 221, and but you can tell by the pictures he'd lost a load of weight, and you're like going, doesn't make sense that you've
Are you
looked like you've
sure?
lost. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he texted me saying I was 209, and I was like, oh my god, that's a
Like,
massive
hold
difference.
on, what are you talking? And I literally, he got on it. And I took a picture. I was like, I'm taking this photo for proof so that no one's gonna question this because I mean, my difference in weight wasn't nearly maybe as drastic as his was. I would go home maybe here I was 119 a day, and then I would go back to our apartment and it was around 121 or 123. So it wasn't, to me, I was like, okay, this is like water weight possibly. And I know my weight fluctuates a ton. So
Yeah,
not concerning. But when I told Sarthik, my fiance, that I was like, I like just try our scale at home because at my parents' home because I know it's like there's a difference. I've noticed it much more recently, if anything, where I know where my weight should be at. And he tried it,
yeah,
like 10, 15 pound difference. I was like, I don't know what is happening with the scale. We're
crazy.
getting a new
Yeah.
one.
Well,
He
we'll
was like,
take.
we're buying a new scale.
Yeah, I said to him, buy a third scale just so that you know.
Do a tiebreaker for between.
Just
No, we
no,
really need to because I was shocked. I was like, there's no way that there's that. It's
yeah.
12 pounds off is like crazy just to
It's
understand.
it's
But
important to know. It's important to note though that with yours as well. Obviously, you're a smaller person. It's £12 for someone that's uh, let's say
bigger,
it's
taller. Yeah.
big or tall or whatever. £12 for you is huge. Like you
Yeah.
getting down to that is
That's
massive. Like
true.
that's
That's
huge.
what I, yeah.
And as we said all along, you went from and not to make it all about weight. You want to do £10, right? We might and based on the body shape change, based on you can see it on your face, everything
Yeah.
it isn't all about the scale weight, it's about body shape change and everything. But you wanted to lose 10, we lost 12,
Yeah.
but you started eating more protein. You were only doing really like hit type workouts, circuit type before we suddenly
Yeah.
started lifting weights. So that doesn't account for the muscle gain, that doesn't
Yeah.
account for just the shape changes.
Exactly.
So it's more than just weight in general, like £10.
Sure.
Obviously eating more food, we had to get you to a bigger appetite, which is always a harder thing. You know, you've got to lose
Right.
weight and eat more, but it just shows that it isn't just always about calories in, calories out. It's about
No.
fueling yourself as well.
Yeah. 100%. I think that was like the biggest takeaway and also like the most pleasant surprise I think in the entire experience was that I never at any point struggled with dieting, I suppose, cuz like I never felt like I was under eating. I never felt like I was starving or that I really wanted like a cheat meal honestly at any point. I'm not a big person, like a sweet tooth person anyways, so I feel like that was sort of easy for me to like overcome. But even with like a bag of chips, I never felt guilty about if I wanted like, a bag every once in a while. I knew where I felt and I knew where I was at in terms of like my intake and my protein and everything, that it was fine for me to like
Good.
indulge every now and then whenever I wanted to. So it was nice to just not, it didn't feel like I was on a diet, which I think was like the nicest takeaway that I had from the entire
Yeah.
experience, because I still was able to lose weight and also tone up my body, because I see photos from March and then also January when I first started like my weight loss journey, and there's just such a noticeable difference between like my stomach and my waist and then also my arms. And I just recently actually took measurements for an outfit that I ordered for a wedding event that we have in California in a couple weeks. But there was a difference in like some of the inches that, or like some of the measurements that I had given back in October in India when I
Yeah,
got all my bridal outfits to now. Like it was because I just remembered I was like, oh, this was like an inch and a half more when I was in India, and now it's like smaller. So I
that's
think those
amazing.
small changes here and there are like
Definitely.
easier to pick up on. Yeah.
Yeah, and when we first started, I think I said to you, I don't want you to feel like it's a diet,
Yeah.
and I want you to feel like it's something that you can. Essentially, I said to you as this is just an investment in learn how to do it forever. Like
Yeah.
I just and
Yeah.
you in the text the other day, you said to me, I feel so confident in moving forward with that. I can just make this a way of life and keep going.
Yeah. No, 100%. And I think at this point I have the right tools. Like you've sort of educated me, both of us, but I'll speak for myself, not Sarthik. But I feel like you've educated me in terms of understanding the amount of protein and calories I should be intaking, carbs and fat, and all of those details. And then also the types of workouts I should be doing, like a
Yeah,
balance of high incline walk and then also weights, but never feeling like it's anything that I'm incapable of, but still feeling like I'm challenging myself. So I think in that regard, I feel just very well equipped to be able to do this like on my own moving forward, and I'm hoping to be able to keep up with it. I mean, in the coming weeks will be like a little up and down, I'm sure, but
yeah,
once we're done with the wedding, like I just feel like at this point it's just so innate in me to want to go work out or like even
right.
like get my protein in the day that now it's just secondhand nature. So like once we're back from our honeymoon, I feel like I'm going to be like, okay, like how
Back into
what
routine.
back to the routine, and it's
Yeah.
easy and it's not difficult and just like it's forgiving also. I don't
You're,
feel
yeah,
like I
yeah,
yeah.
you don't feel guilty. And what,
Yeah.
just touching on the weights, when you talk about the weights and everything, because obviously you did amazing from January to even lose the 10 pounds. But what was your view on training before and what you had to do compared to what you did during this?
Oh my god, so different. I think I mean the thing is I wasn't eating like between January to
Yeah,
March.
you starving
Like
yourself. Yeah,
I was not eating, but like I think my body was just so used to it that I didn't recognize it. But I also remember actively thinking like, oh, don't eat that, or like don't eat this because you're not, like you're trying to lose weight. And
yeah,
but in that at that stage, I was like, it's just from now until September. Like I was thinking very short term. I was like, oh, you only have to keep up with this for like 9 months. So like just don't eat that ice cream from between now to September, which is also
yeah.
just not sustainable. Like I feel like long term, like I probably would have had some sort of binge where I just ate a ton of
100%.
junk
You would
food.
have. You would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have.
Yeah. But that difference, like the first couple months where I was trying to lose weight on my own, and I did like lose 10 pounds, but it wasn't fun because it was just
No,
like
miserable.
I miserable. I was
Yeah,
dieting. I was just
yeah,
like dieting in the most like
yeah.
traditional sense that you could say versus March till now is like night and day. I it's not even comparable because I've never at any point felt hungry. Like I if anything I've struggled to eat. Now I've gotten to a point where I can at least
You
like
can't eat
hit
enough.
my protein goals or not like my calorie goals at least and like feel fine, but like I've never been hungry or I never feel like I'm missing out on anything.
And
Um
and the thing is, you did all this as well when you had. I mean, you call it what bachelorette, we call it hen do. So
And
you had your
do. Yeah,
hen do,
yeah,
you had that, you had the trips to Paris. It wasn't just a case of you were sat in your apartment all day planning all meals. You had to go and work, and you have a stressful job. You have
yeah.
travel to do. So we managed to do it while
And
eating only pasta in France. That was the
well, while only eating pasta in France, because French food is not forgiving for vegetarians. But I also feel like that's a testament to you, though, Stan, because I truly I've told all my friends about you because I'm like, oh, I love my trader. Like he's always just like just checking and making sure we're on track. But like I never have felt like guilty one about like maybe not meeting like a weight goal one week or like maybe just having like a weekend out or traveling because it's always just okay, what can we do to get back on track? Like it's okay, life happens, it's but what do we just have to keep looking forward, and I think that mentality has helped a lot because I know pre March or pre April, whenever we started working together, it was just sort of like, oh, I had one cheat day, it's game over. Like, and now it's just not worth trying altogether. And I think that's the way I thought. It was like all or nothing. And now it's just so much healthier in terms of like the thought process. And I think you've helped a
yeah.
lot in that development as well.
Well, I'm really glad, but I also hate the thought. I also hate the word like cheat day because that
Yeah.
means that means that it's just not like a normal life. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I eat cheesecake, I eat ice cream. I'm horrendous for it. Like, but I don't consider that. Oh, this is a cheat meal. It's just what I fancy some
Yeah.
ice cream today, and then tomorrow I won't eat because I said to you, dinner, you can have sugar, you can have things like that, but just don't do it every day because then that
Just
just
don't
becomes
do
a
it.
bad.
Just be smart about it, if
Yeah,
anything.
it
Yeah.
becomes a bad diet then, doesn't it? Not a little treat. Like, and
Yeah,
also
exactly.
when you're going out to New York and you're going into the city and you're doing like the Wednesdays, I just said go in, enjoy yourself, but just balance it out early the next day. Make sure that the next day you get back on track rather than it being like, oh, I've ruined all my progress. And
Yeah, I
I don't think
think
I ever
that's
told you
yeah.
not to eat more though, and not to eat more. Though. I think I always told you eat more food, eat more food,
Yeah.
eat more food.
I've never gotten the I've
Yeah,
never gotten like a okay, maybe we should cut down on calories. That's never been a concern.
never, never.
Um, which I mean, I will never complain about, but also like I still
Yeah,
yeah, but at the same time, yeah, I feel like it's just a different way. Like I've just reconfigured the way I think about like going out to eat, like on a daily basis, what our diet should look like. Like even small changes here and there. Like whenever Sarthik and I will go out to eat, like at this point we'll usually do like a shared entree and like an appetizer, and find that that's more than enough food because one, restaurant food tends to be a little heavier anyways, and two,
yeah,
like it just American portions are huge and we don't need like two
they
full
are
entrees and an appetizer and all. You know what I mean? Like it's just we're thinking about it and approaching it from a different way, and I think just having that like mentality has helped a lot because we can still go out and enjoy ourselves. We're just being a little bit smart about it,
definitely. No,
compared to
listen, you've done so well. I mean, you've both done so well. I'll catch up with Sarthik and like catch up properly, but you've done amazing. You've been so committed. You've been so consistent as well, like across the board. I'm just glad to have been part of the whole wedding journey and also more just like the health journey and stopping you
yeah,
actually making you
yeah,
eat more because I don't think it was sustainable or like you said there, you had it in your head going to September. That isn't.
yeah,
It shouldn't be we
short
have to
term.
make compromises and we have to
Yeah,
make sacrifices when you've got a goal, but you don't have to make your life miserable in the process of just trying to get a little bit healthier and a little bit fitter. We're not all
yeah,
trying to be stick thin. We're not like
right.
you had the goal of just feeling better in yourself, wanting to. I mean, I remember you said, "I want to like feel good about my arms. I want to feel,
Yeah,
and that was weight training and eating really well, and that's what made a huge difference in the end.
yeah, 100%. I think, I mean, it's honestly felt like it's not really been like a this time has been just so busy for us both, obviously with wedding and then like work, and Sarthik's schedule is always crazy, but I don't think the training and like getting fit and this entire goal has really contributed to that stress, which is a nice thing.
Yeah,
Like it
really
hasn't
good.
been like an
Yeah.
additional stressor. If anything, it's like I look forward to going to the gym and like working
I'm
out.
really
So
glad. I'm really
yeah.
glad. I think that's the main thing that I get. A lot of people go, "Oh, I'm going to put it off until I'm ready," or like I'm not going to do it while I'm. But you've had. I mean, you have a very very busy job. I don't think I've ever met anyone with a worse schedule than Sarthik. I think
I
his shift
know.
being a
Yeah.
doctor in the US is literally possibly. It's like it's honestly how they get away with it. That is horrendous. That is
It
forced labor.
actually, yeah, I know. It's like if you think about like the hourly pay for them is like ridiculous.
Awful,
It's actually like horrible. but
awful. You would
but
not want to be a doctor. He's a good, like he's a what is he a cardiologist as well?
he's a
He's like
cardiologist. He has like 2 more years for
awful.
specializing in cardiology, and then he can like just call himself a cardiologist officially. But yeah, he's like trained cardiologist in training. It's
Awful.
horrible.
I said to him the other day, and I think that it's really important that you don't start when obviously you guys had the goal of the wedding. That's great, but you don't
Sure.
start when everything's ideal and everything's perfect. You've got to start just and adapt to whatever the situation is. And
Yeah.
you are as well. You've got listen, but yours was at least, and we had to go to Paris. We had to do everything, but at least yours was a little bit more manageable in the fact that all right, I'm at home. His is the. I said to him the other day on the call. I think yours is the worst schedule I've ever had to deal with because it's just they work. It's like slavery. They work you to
Listen,
the bone.
I just also I see the difference in him in our apartment, right? Like the way he thinks about food and his relationship to food also has changed so much. So like when you can have someone with as crazy of a schedule like still prioritizing like their
Yeah,
diet on a day-to-day basis, and like the protein that they're intaking and just being more cognizant about where their food is coming from, I think that already is like a job well done within itself.
Yeah.
But I
100%. I mean, I said to him, do not compare yourself to anyone because yours is not an ideal thing. You can't compare yourself to someone that's got, can meal prep all the meals. He was having to eat at the canteen at
yeah,
the hospital like 3 meals a day. And obviously that's not ideal. And he's like going, sorry, can you substitute bread for lettuce? And can you do like, he's doing all these things and he did
can I
amazing.
get a side of
But,
like
oh my
grilled
God.
chicken to take home with me?
I don't know who would want to be a doctor in the US. It's just ridiculous. It's
Well,
just
you think
crazy.
about their cafeteria food also, and I'm like, is this like I don't understand why this is in a hospital. Like, why are they serving fried chicken
Isn't
and mac and cheese in a
isn't
hospital? I'm just confused.
isn't it crazy of the state of health of that? That's what
Yeah,
in the way you're supposed to be getting healthy. You've got
exactly. Yeah,
it's
I guess
crazy.
you're already at a hospital, so they're like prepped for your
Well, yeah,
needs.
yeah. Well, it's not you even. Let's keep the business. It's all a business in America.
It's
There's no
all a
any.
business. Yeah, that's exactly
It's
how they
all a
think of
business.
it. But
But yeah. No, I just
yeah,
want to say, yeah, thanks so much. I thank you for doing this as well. This was great. I think it'll help a lot of people. Like, I get, you get veggie. I get a lot of different clients, and yours, well, his was a very unique one, but yours was
sure.
also unique in the fact of vegetarian, not eating enough and having to focus on. It's I think a lot of people think, why do you have to eat more food to lose weight? But if you aren't fueling your body and you aren't making yourself feel energized, how do
Sure.
you expect to maintain
How
this?
are
And
you
that
gonna? Yeah,
you're going to dig
exactly.
yourself a ditch. So you've done amazing. I was just glad
Thank
to be a part of
you.
it, and it's sad to finish. It's absolutely flown by the 4 months. I can't believe it.
I know. I will absolutely be like bothering you with any other updates in terms of life and like things after the wedding. I feel like August I may just sort of shut down altogether and just go like
Well,
MIA because I'm just getting an inbound of text and I just at this point people are waiting on me to
yeah.
respond. But no, I think, and if anything, Stan, really, it has been so much fun. Like I've never felt pressure. This
I'm
is
glad.
like I've never been stressed. I feel like you've made the process so seamless. And to what you were saying about like starting when it's easy versus when it's like hard. What I someone said to me, I don't know where I read it or I don't know when, but I heard a saying that was like, well, the time is going to pass anyways, right? Like
Right.
whether
Yeah.
you commit to losing weight or not, like the
100%.
time from March to September is all going to pass regardless. So like there's no point in just like not taking advantage of it because
I love
regardless
it.
it's at some
Yeah.
point it's going to be September and you're going to be like, oh, I wish I'd started back in March when I was actually considering it. And it's you know
That's such a good point and something that so many people they put it off, and you could have just got healthier. You might listen. Sorry, my
yeah,
dog's going mental. You might not have. You know how crazy my dog is. You might
I
not
love
have like got. You might not have like lost like let's say your goal is 20 pounds, but you might have got 10 pounds, and you wouldn't have done that otherwise. It's
right,
you know
exactly.
you might as well do. But I love that saying. That's great. It's a great way to think about it, and yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. I will. You know where I am after the honeymoon. If you are like, you know what, I need to get myself back on track. So,
No,
uh,
I'll let you know. Honestly, maybe like a little reboot or something just to
yeah,
get back on track.
more
But
than happy to send me pictures of the wedding. I can't wait
oh
to
my
see it
god,
all. And
yes,
just
help
take a
me out.
picture of the sheer crowd. You've got like a Taylor Swift concert going to your wedding, so you got.
It was supposed to be bigger. It's actually like gone down. We were gonna be at 350 and it's now gone to 290.
Oh
So to
my
me, I'm
god,
like, wow, what a nice
saving money, saving
yeah,
money.
intimate wedding.
Listen, it's been a pleasure. Thanks so much. Stay
Yes,
in touch,
ma'am.
and thanks for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for everything. We'll be in touch for sure though.
Right, I'll see you later. Thanks so much.
Bye.
See ya.